So I love this verse. The verse, see, I shall descend in various wonderful ways, and sport in various wonderful ways. Even if you don't see that, 5,000 years ago, you'll see sometime if a devotee is here, they've descended and they're enacting those pastimes again. You don't see the thing all that going on, but you see them in their worship. What is the difference? You see Radha and Krishna 5,000 years ago, and the devotees in there just love it. Krishna, tears are coming, it's choking the voice. What's the difference? You don't see any of that, but you see a devotee worshiping like that by mantra. Same, right? Then, I know myself, I've always been like this, and now the other devotees say, wow, look at this, I can really relate to it. See, you're part of the family, relation. See, here, even though you don't see Radha and Krishna and all the gopis and all that stuff going on, Lord Chaitanya and everything, people are saying, now I read this book, I feel relation, I like this book, I love this book, more and more and more. See, relationship. How can you love this book if you don't have a relationship with God? It's just, to people, if you like this literature, you won't like the literature of the world. It'll seem mundane. See? If you like this literature. But if you like that literature in the world, you won't like this. That's why the bookstores are filled with that, and you may find a few books, maybe, if you're lucky. Sometimes not one. And usually not from an empowered disciplic line. Maybe you'll find some Yogananda stuff that will put you in like a coma, like Meena was saying. Some guy was speculating on, and she went, you want to go into comas? Read that, Speculations. Okay? And that's what this stuff comes from, these gurus who haven't realized Krishna, man. If you don't worship the Lord with loving ecstasy, like Bhagavad-Gita 10:10, you don't have the right understanding, so everybody is off target practically. All in the name of being on target. That is hypocrisy, man. You come here, we'll turn you from a hypocrite into a straight shooter, man. It's right on target. You want to hit a bullseye every time, come here, and we'll put you right in course. Otherwise, you'll go sit there, follow those big sticks, and think, well, this is Krishna consciousness. Some no feeling, no energy, no life, no truth, nothing. You got an empty shell, and you'll believe that. Is life in there. There's no life in that. Life is in truth. Jesus taught the thing, and Lord Chaitanya taught the same thing. He said the Lord's very much looking for worship in spirit and truth, conclusive truth. See? You take your happiness in whatever you say is in line with the revealed scriptures. That's called conclusive. That is your spirit, man. That awakens the spirit. Radharani only wants to hear about the real Krishna in your heart. She doesn't like speculation. See? And Krishna doesn't like speculation. Okay? So they're both on the same page. You got to please them both. That's why people are chanting Krishna, Radhe, Krishna, Krishna, and they're so inconclusive. And Radha is like, turns her face away, and therefore you don't feel happy. You feel like a big stick. Well, I got to get some. Well, where are we going to have it? Well, maybe I can get some followers and give me some pride. Oh, the rasa of pride and being important and all that, which is finished at the end of this life. Okay? You come here, you're going to get happiness from the conclusive truth and worship the Lord in spirit and truth. That is treasure, man. That's what the Lord was about, in spirit and in truth. Spirit is this ecstatic worship. And the truth is the conclusive truth. That's how I'm making devotees here. I have to make Majjhimadhikaris because I couldn't find any. They're so polluted with speculations. Most of them are looking like these new sannyasis. Where's the... Man, I'm looking at that and I'm saying, well, where's the bhakti, man? Why aren't you looking happy? Because you're not tasting this bliss. This bliss makes you very happy, man. Always inspired, like Bhakti Vinod. Bhakti Siddhanta was glorifying his father. Man, my father was always inspired with Krishna. He's just talking about Krishna all the time, man. And chanting his name in spirit and truth, man. He was going on just to preach, talk about Prabhupada also. And also here, I do it. I don't have to go all over the world, I go all over by the camera now. And if somebody wants to, you come over, come visit me. If you're intelligent, you don't have to. That's smart. Come over here. We're going over there by camera, man. You just listen to these talks. What's the difference if I'm sitting in the same room with you and telling you these things? Or just by the camera, you're still hearing, right? Hearing the same thing. Then you go check it in the book, and you can start feeling relationship from this here, just from these talks. Well, it's a little bit stronger when you come in the association, but still, hey man, it's pretty good. Look at Meena, she didn't come so long. She's changing, she was changing even before we met. She was just listening. See, it's all in the hearing, man. See, when you're not sucking on the tit of putanas and inexperienced devotees have no real devotion, don't even know what it is. See, they got all this speculation they're putting in your ear just simply because they don't worship the Lord with loving ecstasy. I realized I had to create these things. As Prabhupada, has my order, create some Majjamadikaris. They're going to come from you. Because he couldn't generate them. They're all, just... it's young. You see, our disciplic succession is young. It's not like Prabhupada had 11, really sincere persons like Jesus did, and then it sprouted like that with, people started to worship by the Spirit. He had 11, I don't need to say anything. They weren't up to standard, let's put it that way, okay? We all know that. You all know that in your heart. Well, maybe not all. Up to standard means you have a different checklist than the one they're using. Even now, they're not quite up to standard. The standard is right here as it is, very clear. The devotee who is real guru is absorbed in devotional mellows. They love to worship Krishna. They're in love, head over heels, in love with Krishna. Okay? They got a transcendental skin disease. Prabhupada called it a skin disease. They got to rub skin with Krishna's transcendental body. Don't do that, man. Hey man, it's been a bad day. Let's see. It will give a good material. Okay. They will give you a good material cause. They will give you a good material cause. Okay.
It's cause anything out there.
Yeah. Oh, good material cause. A cause of what?
Cause.
The cause.
Last night.
The cause. Yeah. The cause. You got that's the pious thing. They catch you in the pious. See, that's all the devotees. They really need this stuff. This is pure Krishna consciousness, man. Pure. I don't need to go and have like some kind of cause, material cause, save a body or save a cow. I mean, that's fine, you do that. But man, the real Krishna consciousness cannot be attained by doing causes. See, this is more Varnashram Dharma. No, it's unalloyed devotion. You got to find an unalloyed devotee that worships according to the Spirit, like here. See, and you associate here, and then you'll have a possibility to attain Krishna Vrindavan. Matter of fact, if you become real faithful to a real devotee preaching under the empowerment, that faith will bring you to Vrindavan. Okay? This is faith in Guru, man. Faith in a real resident of Vrindavan. See, Putana is Vrindavan, Kalya is in Vrindavan, right? Okay? But they don't represent the real Vrindavan. They represent the protectors of Vrindavan. You cannot go in that way. You can't go in through... If you see Putana in Vrindavan and you think she's the real guru, you will only do that if you're a baby, if you're young in Krishna consciousness, and you will be killed. Your bhakti will be killed. You'll be walking around still with a body, but you will have no bhakti. See? Because you listened to Putana. You sucked on her tit in your ear. You put her tit in your ear, and now your bhakti is dead. I've seen it. See? She's a protector of Vrindavan. You got to go in the right way. You got to go in the narrow gate. That's a real resident. You cannot... The bona fide guru is a real resident of Vrindavan, and Krishna kills all the obstacles for them to stay and to attain Vrindavan and to remain in Vrindavan. Okay? If you come close to those devotees there, Krishna uses them to protect you, to kill the demons, the obstacles that are in your way. But if you go to the Putanas, and they look really good, they look like they are the real representatives, and they always want to show that they're the ones and all that, but they don't, because they're not. All they do is kill your bhakti. Ultimately, that's why Jesus taught this thing. You don't, a good tree doesn't produce bad fruit. And this better saying for this is a transcendental tree does not produce mundane fruit. And that's what they're doing. Because, if I say I'm the highest guru in the world, okay, prove it. Where's the fruit then? Where's the ecstatic love? Oh, it's in these sannyasis walking around with the big... See, that pride, that's ecstatic love. Well, babies will believe that. Young bhaktas who haven't found the real guru and listen to that bullshit preaching will believe that. See? You'll think, oh, that's pride, that's real bhakti lata bees. Or memorizing verses, that's real bhakti lata bees. See? So that means you've been obstructed by those obstacles of Vrindavan. You're drinking from a Kalya lake, a poisoned lake. Drinking poisoned tit. See? Tit is that poisons your heart. The tit, the breast, it's food, right, for the baby. If that's poison on that, did you do something?
No.
Okay. If that's poison on that, then you're dead in the water, man. Okay. So that's why ultimately you have to accept a bona fide guru. Then it goes very fast. All of a sudden, you just like your growth goes like this because the obstacles are not obstructing you. Right now in Krishna consciousness, all these obstacles are obstructing everybody. They believe in those who don't really represent ecstatic love of God. They don't represent a conclusive truth because they got no ecstatic love of God. Okay? They can't see things as they are. Isn't it Bhagavad-Gita as it is? There it is as it is, and they present it as it isn't. They say, here's the checklist. Here's Bhagavad-Gita as it is. We have a checklist over here. You believe that checklist is your qualification for guru, but the real checklist is as it is right there in Bhagavad-Gita. To those who worship me with loving ecstasy is transcendental. It's ecstatic, man. It's pure, it's unalloyed. That kind of worship. I give them the understanding. That's the conclusive truth. See? That causes the ecstasy to arise. That causes self-realization. Okay? So you need that kind of guru, man. Not these, if they're creating checklists, that means they're devoid of this kind of bhakti. That's not the right understanding. It's this checklist that doesn't even touch on the real checklist. This is where things are at now. Okay? You have to, if you really want Vrindavan, you'll have to sacrifice Putana, even though you think Putana is the greatest devotee, everything, but somebody has to come to the point of honesty. He has to say, man, look at over there. These guys, the guy doesn't even have a dhoti, but look how happy they are. Look how they're standing up. I can't even get one person. Show me one person in Narayan Raja's Sangha that's standing up and really preaching, other than a big stick sannyasi giving a proud class. And just talking, walking around and say, see, I'm Guru, man. Oh, Guru Dev, please deliver me. Well, I'll deliver you. But I'm not a Srila, I'm just a Bhakti-vedanta. I'm not a Srila, that's only for the master. But give me your bows. What is this? It's not clean, that's not conclusive, man. What? Yes, isn't the Gaudiya Vaishnava, they said the Guru's your savior? Isn't that what it's supposed to be? They got to be like Jesus. If you can't, declare, I am a son of God, man. If people can't see you're a son of God, what is a son of God? You worship the Lord in ecstatic love. You are accepted by the Lord. He is living in your body. You're alive. Nobody's alive without that. Then the person says, are you a son of God? You guys out there, are you a Srila? You Mr. Guru out there, Mr. Bhakti-vedanta, are you a Srila like you're a Guru? Srila, are you an Acharya Pod and a Bhakti-vedanta and a, what do they call this, Paramahamsa? Why are you accepting bows? That's hypocrisy and that is idol worship. You think you can deliver with not knowing? You're not clear about your devotional position. You're not even Madhyamadikari. Why do you think Prabhupada told his godbrother, said that these guys are not even, this is neophyte, man. This is not even Vaishnava. They don't know their devotional position. They think they're acharyas, but they act without, acting like an acharya, man. They're inconclusive. Why are you taking the name Prabhupada? Because that's only for our Prabhupada. Prabhupada took, Bhaktisiddhanta took the title Prabhupada because he was a Prabhupada. He was self-realized. He knew that. He took the sannyas from a picture. So he can do whatever he wants. He knows he's conclusive, man. The spiritual master is independent of the Vedas. It is not dependent on the scriptural injunctions. If they feel inspired that, hey man, I think this is necessary to preach Krishna consciousness, they do it. Okay, I feel like I need to take sannyas. There's nobody really qualified. There are a bunch of bullshitters around. He just did it. Prabhupada did it another way. He decided, I'll go to the moth there and do it. It was just a thing, a ritual. He could have just put a picture up like his guru. What is he dependent on doing? He can do whatever he wants. He could do it that way. Bhaktisiddhanta did it that way. Okay? Conclusiveness is you understand the Shastra even says, Lord Chaitanya said, my Guru Dev and the Supreme Lord are completely independent. They're not dependent on the Vedic injunctions to serve Krishna. See, that's conclusive. Inconclusiveness is like a Radhakund Babaji saying, you see, Bhaktisiddhanta is not acting appropriately because he took sannyas from a picture. See? That's inconclusive. Okay? So that's what we got going on. Or we heard some of the big ones over there. One guy says, you can't understand Radha through sound, through the word, through the sound. Are you kidding? That's the only way you're going to understand Radha and Krishna. That's why we got a Hare Krishna mantra. When you start laughing and crying like a madman and choking the voice and your spiritual body is awakened, man, that's by sound vibration. You're born of the Word of God, spoken by a devotee who is already in relationship with God. And they preach the opposite, the biggest ones. What's going on here, man? This keeps our Vaishnavism dead. No life. Inconclusiveness. Because you can't find one person worshiping the Lord with unalloyed love. And those persons who claim to be the real gurus, go find a pure devotee who worships the Lord with that. They're all over the place. Just find a pure devotee like that. Oh yeah? Bullshit. They have to be sent here because there's so few. They're the ones infuse new life in the disciplic line. So, hey, it started with Bhakti Vinod. He was sent here and he started everything going, man. Then he had his son was in there. He had real bhakti, man, and got it going for it. Then Prabhupada, one out of those 60,000 got it going, man. More. And now, it's going now, but to the next level even. Because nobody knows what is the next level. All they know are rules and regulations because they're not conclusive. They don't know in the conversation of Ramananda Roy where it's leading. They don't know all these intricacies. Only a person who proves that they're really an acharya to expand the movement worships the Lord in ecstatic loves and gives you that direction. Otherwise nobody knows. Johann read the books 4 times, Caitanya-caritāmṛta over and over, and he still couldn't figure it out. Now he's figuring it out. See? Because you got to go by the book, man. If you don't worship the Lord in loving ecstasy, you got to learn from a devotee who does. And then you'll get the highest happiness which he's getting. You see that? Okay. That highest happiness is conclusive understanding and ecstatic love. And that's all, that's the Satchidananda form of the Lord. You become that. You got to become that, man. Empowered to worship the Lord with loving ecstasy and be conclusive because of conclusiveness. Yeah. So the influence... So yeah, I shall descend and sport in various wonderful ways, unknown even Vaikuṇṭha, and I shall broadcast such pastimes by which even I am amazed. The influence of Yoga Maya will inspire the gopis with the sentiment that I am their paramour. Okay? Yoga Maya, man, that's how you get out of Mahamaya. You have to have an example of Yoga Maya. You have to have an example of this relationship. See? Then they can tell you, they can teach you. They're in 2 worlds, man. They're here looking, one eye is on the Maya to teach people. This is the illusion, let go of it. Let go of these false acharyas, man, trying to be the biggest ones. Because if you believe that, how can you believe this? Okay? Let go of it. So anyway, the devotee, because of their being under the influence of Yoga Maya, okay? Therefore they can teach these things. Nobody else can. See? People under the influence of Mahamaya, if you're even in Varnashram Dharma, you're still a materialistic devotee. Even with your big stick and everything, you have material emotions. You're not, Yoga Maya is not, you cannot teach these things because you're tinged with all this stuff, alloys and all speculations and all that stuff. That's why you look like that. If you don't have ecstatic devotion, you look like you're carrying a big weight. To a devotee who sees, doesn't have any burden on them anymore, and unburdens others, which is proof of their potency. Okay? People were one lady says, "How can you drink a cup of coffee? That's poison and all that." I said, "Do you think this is poison? You don't know what I take on. This is nothing." This is nothing, man. This is a cup of coffee. Is the poison I got to take on here. Taking on all of that crapola. This is like an ocean of poison in Vaishnavism. You don't know. Who can drink that? It's worried about a cup of coffee. Hey man, I got soy milk in today.